impact international politics. Diplomacy is based on things like this. What is happening in Afghanistan is very fundamental in terms of people's right. This is a big victory for those who clamor for people's right, especially for those in the developing countries like Ambazonia and Biafra who are seeking to exercise the right of self-determination. Policies, international policies are carved out of incidents and conclusion of conflict like the one in Afghanistan. So I'm going to bring you the perspective where you would benefit from what it means to you as an Ambazonian and what it means to you as a Biafran, which is our ally of the fall of the regime. We call them control democracy that was in Afghanistan, run on the backside by the American government. I'm going to get into that analysis very soon. But first, I want to first congratulate the Biafran people and the leadership of the IPOB. The IPOB is the main faction of the Biafran movement. We also recognize that there are other factions like the Bakassi, the Biafran National League that operates from Bakassi as well, that we are engaged with them. And there are many other factions that we do engage with them. But we do recognize that the most influential, the major faction of that is driving Biafran self-determination is the organization of the indigenous people of Biafra, being led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We want to congratulate them for reinstating the ghost town that is meant to protest against the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, and is also meant to exert self-control of the destiny and political decision of the Biafran people is very, very crucial. And we can see on Monday the 9th, the ghost town was successful. This is big success for the Biafran people. This finally means that it is the will of the Biafran people that exert itself along their street. It has a lot of ramification. This will now give diplomatic capital for the IPOB to lobby the international community for sympathy with the cause of the Biafran people, to make the case that this is not just an agitation, but this is an expression of the will of the people who stood for the vision of a free and self-governing and independent Biafran state. This is a very powerful statement, and you are now in the offensive. So the Biafran people should not expect BBC, CNN to report this. We always say the revolution will not be televised. You only get such discussion in platforms like this where real revolutionary work. But definitely the revolution is not being ignored. The international community is definitely watching what is going on. They will not come out to say things that are going to encourage the Biafran people, but behind in diplomatic corridors, conversation will be going on. They will be observing to see how resilient the Biafran people are, how serious they are. Are they willing to really take this thing to its expectant end, or are they going to play into the hands of those they are going to send behind the door to advise them, oh, you have to stop this thing, you don't have to go too far, it is going to cost us this. They are going to make all this manipulation. And we are seeing the manipulation being played in front of our eyes. We have gone through the same experience in Ambazonia. We heard and we saw the document that was released by the IPOB saying that the ghost town have been called off due to an instruction that was given by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Ambazonia Governing Council, we have had conversation with our counterpart across the border. We had protested, and they had also had meetings, and they have reversed that decision, and they have reiterated that the ghost town every Monday will continue in Biafra land. I want to take a moment to play you one of the audio from their spokesperson as well, so that you can hear directly from him, and then we will match fire and we go on into this presentation.
Do not succumb out of fear. Do not succumb to the threat of the inconsequential governors in the East. Do not succumb to their threat. We are strongly and solidly behind this order of sit at home, and we will do everything to see the lockdown and implementation of a ghost town in the entire Southeast Biafra land.
So That was a spokesperson of the IPOB reiterating that the ghost town remains every Monday. This is very important. The people of Biafra must work together to make sure everybody stay at home, to send a clear message to the international community. For anybody to try to compromise this movement on the ground in Biafra land will be putting in jeopardy the life of all the 64 million Biafran people who are clamoring for independence, and the Biafran Eastern Security Network will be the vanguard to make sure that the Nigerian government do not pay agents to go out and parade and make propaganda videos that things are going normal in order to affect the mindset of the people. As the people are now listening to their leadership, the people should focus on that and make sure that they protect the integrity of what they are doing. Because from our experience, there will be paid people. The Nigerian pulpits there, the governors are going to pay people, threaten people, open some few shops. You have to make sure that you enforce the law of the land. It is the will of the people, and it is a righteous thing, and it is the right thing to do. Watch your back, and do not. You have to be smart. The Biafran people, I think they are learning now that just the leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently in prison, is frail. I remember before Nnamdi Kanu was rendated, he was kidnapped. I had come out and I had warned the Biafran people about the possibility that their leader could be killed, could be picked up, put in communicado. I made that presentation, and it has happened is because of our experience in Ambazonia and our study of other liberation movement across the world. Now the captain, the general, the big boss of the Biafran people is in the hands of the enemy. You would have to have a process to filter whatever information and instruction comes from him. The Nnamdi Kanu you know before he went to prison may not be the same person again, but he is strong. He will remain the leader of your group. He will remain that figure. But every instruction that will come out from prison have to be looked into with the precedents and the principle he had laid down before his captivity. And you have a wonderful leadership out there to do that for you. You must be careful, because what happened was one of the lawyers who visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one who came out with that information that the ghost town have been cancelled. You have instances like this. You have infiltrators. You have people who come pretending to be supporting Biafrans, who are Biafrans, paid slaves, who are going to try to undermine and puncture the struggle to make sure that you don't do the right thing that is needed for you to have your independence. I always maintain my opinion that Biafran independence will not come through referendum. We already know this principle from our study of other liberation war. All the PhD people who are going to come and tell you, they will argue here, argue that, nothing will succeed. You can go to court and debate whatever you debate. The judge can just be replaced one day, and they tell you the whole case have to start from the scratch. The prosecutors, the chief prosecutor can just retire or move to another state, and they tell you a new prosecutor team have come. They need time to study the case. They can drag this case until Nnamdi Kanu is dead, because Nnamdi Kanu is frail. His health is affected by the whole trauma he has gone through. From our conversation with those who have seen him, his health is really not good. He's not at his best, and but the Biafran people should expect anything. He has lived his life for the Biafran people. He has given everything for them. The least they can do is to fight this fight for him, to make sure Biafra is free, because that is what he wants, and that is what he has given his life for. And we should continue to pray for him, pray for his family, and hope that he will be released and see freedom one day. But we also must expect the worst, because when we step into this liberation movement, we are coming knowing that we may not come out alive, but we are making sure that no generation after our generation will live through what we have gone through. So we are going to plant the seed. We are going to make sure that the freedom will come, and send the message to the enemy that they are not going to get away with subjugating our people. So now, in the side of the Ambazonian liberation war, I will give you a little bit update before I dive into the main presentation of what the fall of the Afghanistan government mean for you, the Ambazonian people, and for you, the Biafran people. It has tremendous effect. It has shaken the diplomatic and international community, we are going to give you the meaning of those things. There are news that is coming from the great state of Bui that two Ambazonian defense forces who went to the market to do shopping to buy food were killed by the Bui warriors. And the Biafran people who listen to me will have to understand what is going on as well. We are losing more soldiers being killed by fellow Ambazonians who are working for people who are paid agents by the Cameroon government. These are the people who oppose the Biafran Ambazonian alliance. These individuals are people who saw the uprising of the Ambazonian people, and you have the same people in Biafra as an opportunity for them to step in, come and negotiate on behalf of the people in order to benefit. Because previously, when government find it difficult to suppress uprising, they look for people like these who can suppress the people's will and stop the war, stop the agitation, and make money out of it. These are people that have been declared as people who have privately engaged and commit themselves to negotiate on the platform of federalism, but they parade themselves as independentists, so-called governments. And then I think the Biafra movement also have a group of people who have also made a government in Abuja. Can you imagine? So these people are all traitors that are pretending to be revolutionaries, but their main job is to kill our forces on the ground. This is a long list of soldiers that have been compiled by citizens of Ambazonia, long list of soldiers that have been killed by these individuals and instruction given to forces on the ground by these individuals. The list goes up to close to 90 people, 90 soldiers that they have killed. Now they have killed two Ambazonian fighters who were not armed,